for today? Because it looks like it should be 65 or 70.
Yeah, that little breeze kind of coming right in our face, I think, has that real feel down there.
Casey Mize on the hill here at home. He's the Tigers starting pitcher. He's presented by Wallside Windows, and a great on-field look at him right there as he warms up.
Yeah, Casey had one of the best starts of his career in Arizona, going 6 innings, allowing just 1 run and striking out 9. And it was that split fingers we talked about. He had 17 swings and 9 misses on that patented split. In Minnesota, Casey had just 9. He couldn't get him to swing the bat and tempt him at all with just 3 misses. Hopefully today will be different.
He'll face this starting lineup for the Miami Marlins, who opened play today at 8-6 after the loss yesterday. OPS plus, league average is 100. See how many guys in that lineup are over 100. Edwards 189, Casey 173. The Tigers held the Marlins pretty quiet yesterday offensively with a grand total of 2 hits. Starting defense for the Tigers brought to you by Marygrove Awnings. Matt Vierling in center field after Javi got the start yesterday. Carpenter and Perez flank him. Keith, McGonigal, McKinstry, and Torque. And Dylan Dingler is the catcher. Tigers are going with the double Mac middle infield today with McGonigal and McKinstry. And we are just about ready for action. A lot of people here with their hockey jerseys on the hockey giveaway day. Wings playing later on at 5 o'clock. Logan Reaver will be taking a private helicopter the 3 blocks to Little Caesars Arena.
Yeah, a lot of Red Wing jerseys in the stands, and yeah, that's kind of nice that they bounce back and forth.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Go to both. Enjoy your day. That's somebody dressed for success right there.
Red Wings need it too. Big win, big game for them tonight.
Big game. First one here for the Tigers. We are underway. It is ball 1. Casey Mize to the local product, Jacob Marcy, who went 0 for yesterday. But Daniela reported yesterday that he's got about 500 people coming to the game today. That is as large of a cheering section as I think I've ever heard of, home or away.
Absolutely. I mean, usually, you know, okay, maybe you got 20, 25, but 500.
What would it take to gather 500 of your friends?
Oh, my goodness. I'd have to multiply by 50.
2-1 from Casey Mize. Any opportunities? There goes the baseball bat. It's into the dugout. It's a Saturday afternoon javelin.
But if you wonder why they put up the nets because of the foul balls and errant bat tosses like that, that's a reason. You're just getting settled into your seats and maybe not paying attention and get cold cocked if that netting's not up there.
And it just falls right into the dugout. Well, that was a great shot up the stairs. It was basically the POV camera for the bat coming out of the dugout. 2-2 for Marcy. Casey drops it in on a slider. Strike 3. 1 away.
Boy, just when you think, you know what, he's going to drop that split finger in. Nope, he comes back with that backdoor slider and just catches that outside part of the plate. Casey knew it as soon as he let go of it, too. He said, yeah, that one felt good. He knew it right away. That's a good feeling for a pitcher.
You can tell by the leg kick, huh? And the follow through.
Yeah, that's about halfway there.
Xavier Edwards hits this sky high, and McGonigal at shortstop makes the catch for a quick second out. The Marlins were extremely aggressive at the plate last night. They were first pitch fish yesterday.
Which, yeah, is maybe a little bit surprising when you look at some of their stats or overall numbers. But, you know, Cater Montero was throwing a lot of fastballs. We'll see if Casey Mize does the same.
First pitch sinker. There's a fastball for Augustine Ramirez, who was 0 for 4 yesterday with a strikeout. 13 games so far this year after 136 of them last year. Another high fastball. This one, the four-seam variety, a little bit harder. 0-2. No timeout for Ramirez. He's backed into the corner by Casey, and the 0-2 is laced to right center. That's a base hit. They went breaking ball, and Ramirez beat him on a 2-strike single.
Yeah, I think Casey will be upset with the location on that. You can see Dylan Dingler setting up way outside, and that one just kind of spins, and Dylan's got to reach back over the middle of the plate to catch that one. And Ramirez, just after just 2 fastballs right by him, kind of just slowed it up maybe enough for him to stay back and punch that into center field.
So he's at first. Liam Hicks is the batter. Liam, who was very briefly in the Tigers organization, he came over in the Carson Kelly deal just before the deadline in 2024. The Tigers, with a roster crunch, exposed him to the Rule 5 draft at the end of 2024. And then he was selected in that Rule 5 draft by the Marlins. You see with Double-A Erie briefly in the summer of 24.
Off to a good start. Had a good year last year for him, too.
Casey's ahead perpetually today. It's 0-2 on Hicks.
Boy, that backdoor slider to the lefties. Good pitch so far. Thinking that sinker going off the plate, running away, and hitter's just giving up on it, and it's catching the outside corner.
There's a splitter away, so we'll see if he can harness that splitter in still colder weather this afternoon.
But you could just tell he was spiking them the other day in Minnesota. That one looked more like a splitter, and he didn't want to make a mistake. 0-2, and that one just drifted off the outside.
On the ground, McGonigal on the way to first. Willie Traynor actually was the biggest roadblock there, the second base. No score, bottom 1. Tigers batting order, as always, presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. As we told you yesterday, the Marlins throw fewer fastballs than anybody in Major League Baseball. So what do they do against the off-speed pitch of the starter for the Marlins, Jansen Junk, today? 604 for Dylan Dingler on a league average of 351. This is since 2025. Colt Keith is looking for his first hit against an off-speed pitch so far this year. We'll see if he gets it in the first inning as they face the junk baller for the Marlins. He's never heard it before, Dan.
Exactly.
Never heard it.
He's coming off a good outing in Cincinnati, going 7 1/3 innings, allowing just 2 runs. Has seen an uptick in that velocity, dropped his arm slot a little bit.
Oh, look, we have a pitch comm issue before the first
inning.
It's a first inning pitch comm issue. This is what happens when you give fish electronics. They go into the water with it, it shorts out, and then suddenly you say, well, why didn't we make a version that was waterproof?
You know what, though? I'm just thinking, is it always the visiting team in the first inning, though?
Well, it's definitely always the Marlins.
But you know, like it seemed like the Tigers had it in Arizona and Minnesota. I think even San Diego.
Maybe it is first inning visitor pitch comm issues.
You know, a frequency issue.
What's the frequency, Petrie? We do have your top 3 fish waiting in the wings. Maybe it's the time to do it if they go a little bit longer. But again, you know what? Why do you give fish electronic devices?
Yeah,
shouldn't do it
because they're slippery.
First pitch downstairs. Glad they figured out the pitch comm issue. We're ready to go.
But Junk does. He's been tough on right-handers. Right-handers hitting just 154. That's why I think a lot of left-handers in there today. Left-handers are hitting 421. Slider's been good to right-handers. Changeup good to. We're seeing a lot of changeups to left-handers.
Well, that fastball ends up in right field, up the alleyway. Kevin McGonigal coasts in with a leadoff double.
Well, just like last night, I'm hunting fastball. That one right down the middle, and lay off that other stuff. Look for that fastball and do damage on it. Kevin McGonigal again smokes another fastball. Good start here for the Tigers.
Wencel Perez looking for his first hit of the year as McGonigal torched that baseball. That's his 6th double already. First pitch ball on a curve from Jansen Junk. If you look at the American League leaders in doubles, there are 2 Tigers there, so the home run number is not tall. 8 of them for the season for the Tigers, but 12 doubles from Keith and McGonigal combined to this point. 1-1 on Perez.
You don't know how many home runs McGonigal will end up with, but I mean, right now it's just he's becoming such a really good hitter. You know those home runs are going to come, and he's going to get to the point where he's going to start taking his shots.
What do you like most about his swing? I know you watch the game from the mound for the most part, but what do you like about his swing?
Ever since spring training, it never, ever seems like he's fooled. I mean, he just tracks the ball so well right from the pitcher's hand. You don't see him take an uncomfortable swing. He's never fooled.
On the ground, up the middle, it's the shortstop Lopez behind the bag. It's McGonigal to third with one out, and Colt Keith has a chance for a productive out for a Tigers lead.
Yeah, and I think Wenzel will get a nice little pats on the back, handshakes for getting McGonigal over to third base. As soon as he gets in that dugout, he'll be greeted. Yep, everybody's slapping him, saying, "Attaboy, good job," clapping, letting him know, getting that runner in scoring position.
It drags the infield in for Colt Keith's at bat, and Colt takes a rip at a slider, a high slider, for strike one.
Yeah, take advantage of this right now because Colt is just really hot, swinging the bat really well.
I mean, he has upped his pull rate in the air, which is where the power really lives across Major League Baseball, to nearly a quarter of the time of the balls he's hitting are going to the air to the pull side, which again, there's still opposite field power as well. Like that. It's a Tigers 1-0 lead. Using all fields and his wheels, Keith into second base with an RBI double. He looks like he wants to go to the All-Star game this year. I know it's early. He's had a massive first couple weeks.
He has, and it's all about that attitude as we talked about yesterday. But talking about the pull side power and the balls in the air, but that's exactly what he does, is just picks out a pitch that he can drive that way, and that's exactly what he did. And I think Colt Keith's speed too is very underrated, especially when he gets down that line on a ground ball. You better not take your time because he'll surprise you with his speed.
First pitch swing. This ends up at third, and Paulie to take care of Dingler. I mean, the sprint speed leaderboard exists online. Anybody can look at it, right? So it's calculated in such a way to take kind of your top end speed in short windows. But if you look at so far this year, sprint speeds on the Tigers, Colt Keith at 28. I mean, we're talking one of the top 3 or 4 in the Tigers lineup, at least to this point early in the year.
Yeah, because I'm trying always to think of Parker Meadows and where he is, and I think he's a little bit over 29. I think so. Colt Keith is right there.
Yeah, the elite of the elite, like Trey Turner, Victor Scott, are the guys who clear 30.
Yep.
One. Check swing, no go, 2 balls and a strike on Riley Green.
Boy, the Tigers doing a good job of laying off of those secondary pitches, hunting the fastball. When they get that fastball, they're not missing it. McGonigal, Colt Keith.
That ball is rocked to right field. Here comes Keith, and he is in with run number 2. The Tigers a 2-0 advantage right from Jump Street. He saw the changeup well that time.
He sure did. That one stayed up. Looked like, yeah, that was up. That was just saying, hit me, hit me. And Jansen Junk has really improved that changeup, has got more horizontal movement to it. And that one just, yeah, it had horizontal movement, but it moved right into the middle of the plate, and Riley didn't miss it.
I mean, he walks into this game with a whiff rate of that changeup. We're talking in the 60% plus whiff rate, and the Tigers just got an RBI single off of it as Riley has a 15-game on-base streak to open the year. Brandon Inge was the last Tiger to do it, a mystery guest on opening day. Showing up in the hot corner in the bottom left. That's the perfect place for Brandon Inge, by the way. They call it the hot corner with the stats that pop up in game. Brandon Inge, it should actually be his corner.
Named after him. Maybe there's a sponsorship deal right there.
Oh. Inge corner.
You know, yeah.
We have Amen corner this weekend.
Inge corner?
You think we can do better?
Yeah, give that one some thought.
One. You could call it, if you're looking in the bottom left-hand corner, you're Inge watching.
Yeah, there you go. Like
binge watching.
Binge, yeah. See, I knew you'd come up with something.
You're making our truck feel real bad. Because they were the ones that offered Inge corner.
Well, because it's Brandon Inge, but, you know,
we can just
have a catchy
up the
name,
level.
like Real Feel, you know.
That's why we should let our weather graphic come up with all things witty. I'm told, Inge corner has something else for you. 15 straight right-handed starters. It's a lot. It's the second time in the last 80 seasons for the organization. It's a lot. I mean, for Jahmai Jones, for Matt Vierling.
And that's why, you know, Matt Vierling, I mean, AJ's trying to get the guys just to stay involved in the competition, you know. I mean, it would be easy. I mean, Javi Baez, I mean, he's hotter than heck, you know, and it's, hey, I got to find spots for these guys. I got to play everybody.
Ground ball right side of the backhand for Norby, and that will do it. Kevin McGonigal, great defensive play last night. Couple pitches in, he ends up at second base. He scores very quickly on a Colt Keith RBI double, and then Riley Green plates him. Tigers pass lead on a beautiful day to watch from whatever perch you might have. Here's a first pitch strike to Otto Lopez, who actually had his breakout season just down the road in Lansing with the Lugnuts. He was a Blue Jay farmhand. They were a Blue Jays farm club at the time. In 2019, he hit .324 with that Toronto team in Lansing. There's a fly ball to left. He hit it pretty well. To the warning track it goes, and not caught right at the warning track. So Lopez to second base. It's a tough play for Kerry Carpenter, who just could not put it away.
Yeah, another breaking ball. That slider stays up. Kerry Carpenter usually plays out in right field. That's going right to his glove side. That's a really tough play. I thought for a second off the bat that was going to be trouble. Good thing it stayed in the park.
So Lopez at second, and a first pitch swing for Casey as he skies it for center. Vierling is underneath. Lopez tags for third, and he is in there.
You know, Casey last night was very patient. You know, he was not swinging at first pitches. I mean, he was being very, very selective. And, you know, right there, Casey, instead of throwing a first pitch fastball thinking that, okay, he's going to be real selective, wasn't falling for it and just said, you know, I'm going to start him off with a slider, and probably a good thing. Got that fly ball into center field, but, you know, a lot of times they'll kind of set you up a little bit, the hitters will, and just say, okay, I'm going to be a little selective, thinking that you're going to throw a first pitch fastball right down the middle of the plate.
With that, the infield comes in, and a first pitch sinker tucked too far inside to Norby, who was doubled off of first last night after one of the two Marlin hits. It's close to his body as well, 2-0. It's Marlins offense fifth in slugging, even after a two-hit affair yesterday in game number 14. You know, you have a two-hit game in your first 2 weeks as a team. Usually that's a shock to your system, and you go from the top 10 to, like, you know, 11 or so. They're still fifth in slugging, fifth in average after a two-hit day.
And to me, it just tells you how good Cater was, but also that bullpen of the Tigers.
Finnegan, Jansen on the back end.
Yeah, Herder was really good. That was one of those best innings he's had this year too.
Three and one. Wave and a miss on a fastball. 3-2. You said it early. Casey wasn't getting the swing and miss in the cold in Minneapolis much.
Yeah, it wasn't as loose, but you could see, look at the finish with that right leg from Casey. He tried to get a little extra, saying, you know what, I'm giving you a fastball, and he threw the heck out of that one.
And that one, too. That splitter dives away from Norby. What a comeback from Mize.
How about, do you think he's got confidence in it today to throw it 3-2? If you asked him to make a 3-2 split finger pitch in Minnesota, no way. But watch where the split finger starts, almost in line, perfect line with where that fastball was on the 3-1. And you think that's right where, look at the downward action right over the top of it.
That is just an evil two-pitch sequence for anybody.
But just, I mean, to make that pitch 3-2 after his last start not being able to command that pitch, showing that he's very comfortable today with it.
That slider faded 2-0.
Boy, and just, you know, as a pitcher, you know that with a runner on third and less than 2 outs, infield in, but you're trying to get that strikeout. How can I get a strikeout? Casey went about it a little different, falling behind 3-0, but he still got it.
Well, he liked it so much last time. He's 3-0 this time. He does have the 9-hitter, the right-hander Hernandez next. Three and 0 to Paulie. That's a take all the way. I mean, the Marlins are top 5 in fewest swings and misses, so that strikeout is big in a situation that Miami has paid off early in the year.
And Arizona was another team that doesn't strike out very much either, and that's where Casey had the 9 strikeouts, so that kind of gives you a good indication.
3-1. It's popped up foul, third base side. Keith is after it, and he has room. Wow, it stayed in the park, and the Tigers are out of a troubling second inning.
That dugout was screaming to him, you're okay, you got room, got room. Puts that hand out. Nice catch by Cole Keith.
Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by Bet365.
Yeah, beware of that jump the Tigers were in that first inning, hunting that fastball. Riley did get a changeup, but you got to be aware of the right-handers, the slider and the changeup to the left-handers. And hey, how about putting up more zeros?
Like not allowing runs.
Exactly. I mean, Cater started that one, and just why not continue it? There's two shutouts after 4 games here at Comerica Park to start the season off. So why not?
Sure, I'm down for that.
Pretty good shot. You know, if you keep putting up zeros, you get a good chance of winning.
You are so smart.
I'm telling you. Especially when you get 2 in the first inning.
Yeah, you put up some zeros, you're probably going to win. 2-1 is fouled away, 2-2. You know, there was a pitcher named David Risky for Cleveland a while ago, right? And then you had Scott Blewett, right? Jansen Junk kind of falls in that category of last names that are somewhat unfortunate for a pitcher. Not his fault. Nice guy.
There's
good teammate, we've heard.
A few of them.
But you know, the term junk comes from nautical experiences back in like the 15th century.
Yes, you turned us on to that this morning. I read through that. It was very interesting.
So here's the deal. So it's junk is the term that they started using for excess rope on boats. So like they'd cut off a piece after you tied a knot, you'd throw it in the corner, and then the pile of it, the rope would be junk. So it was excess, right?
Yeah.
And then it became junk food and junk drawer and all that. But it started with rope on boats.
And Torque did a nice job of laying off the junk to get a walk.
Your keys are perfect for Bet365.
And where's Junk from?
Washington.
Right. And a rope is very nautical, as in Mariners.
Oh.
Right?
Oh,
went to
perfect.
Seattle University.
Yep, from Federal Way, Washington.
See?
Perfect. He was born to be a Mariner, but he's a Marlin.
But that's, you know, the rope and tying things off. It's very.
And if you're a Mariner who fishes, you end up with Marlin.
Yeah.
I don't know that we're going to get commissioned to make the Jansen Junk documentary when his career's over after that flourish. But it was a good thought. They'll use a piece of it, and then the rest will be junk.
That's right.
2-1. Swung on and missed by McKinstry.
Be thrown on the junk pile.
I mean, having a last name that rhymes with spaghetti, I understand it. I empathize. Well, I know Land Before Time comes out and you're toast.
Well.
Tapper right at the bag at second base, and for Lopez, that is fish in a barrel. 2 down, and here's a message from Figer Law.
If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, make Figer Law your first call. Figer Law. All we do is win. All we do is win.
Thanks for joining us today with Daniela Bruce, who's trying to stay as far away from this conversation as possible. Dan Petrie, Jason Benetti. Don't include me in this, says Daniela. Matt Vierling takes a strike. Daniela evidently has something on Zach McKinstry next time he comes up to the plate, so we'll tease that. That we hope doesn't go cutting room floor today.
I was going to try to jump in and save our audience, but, you know.
You gotta.
There was no stopping you two.
Hey,
in that
when
moment.
the music stops, you gotta find a chair fast. One and one to Vierling. Yeah, a swing and a miss. That's that sweeper. It kind of had a mind of its own there.
You generally try to get those on the outside part of the plate. And that's the thing, just capitalize on the mistakes. That starts spinning on the inside part of the plate. Those are the pitches that Matt Vierling hasn't been seeing a whole lot this year. They've been pitching him away, and that's why he's been going the other way. Setting up outside here.
That's way outside, 2-2. I mean, Matt, with all the injury stuff last year, 31 games, didn't play a whole lot. Then he comes out of spring training. There are no left-handed starters against the Tigers so far. So he has been on the bench more often than not, coming in as a pinch hitter as he climbs the ladder there to foul it away.
And that's why in the early going like this, you've got to keep everybody sharp. And there's times that you don't want to take somebody out or give somebody a rest, but you've got to keep everybody sharp, get their at-bats. And it's a lot different in the regular season than spring training. I mean, when you're facing the best now that the bell is rung.
Yeah, it goes from not mattering at all result-wise to every game counts. We saw it last year. I mean, what the Tigers would have given for 3 more wins down the stretch, right? It completely flips your fate in the division. Of course, they ended up knocking Cleveland off in the wild card round anyway. That's up the middle off the end of the bat to second, and Edwards closes out this rollicking second inning. 2-0 Tigers after 2. America Park Friday, May the 1st, when the Tigers take on the Texas Rangers. As soon as those gates open, 16-ounce beers will be $5 through the end of the 3rd inning. Tigers.com/party to learn more. That little one's just playing what's in the bag. We got headphones. Same color as Dan's.
I mean, keep those loud noises and the startled.
Yeah. There's that picture from the Super Bowl. Remember where this kind of became in vogue when Drew Brees had his kid after the Super Bowl and they had the headphones on. They had that iconic picture of Drew after the Super Bowl. It's a little bit of a struggle to put them on, though. Same with Dan.
Trying to get the fit there.
Chopper up the middle. That's the backhand side for Zemek, and he can't find the ears on it. So Heriberto Hernandez is on to lead off the third.
Yeah, that might have been a close play over at first base. Zach McKinstry had to really rush, and that might have been why it was bobbled. But look how far he is over on the other side of second base, the shortstop side. Comes up with it and just knows that he has to really rush that throw going away from first base. It was going to be close.
Hernandez on Marcy again. Pounces at the first pitch. He's been highly aggressive in this series. Central Michigan Chippewa, just like our AD today. Two strikes on Marcy. You've got McKinstry at second. You have Marcy at the plate. You have Jason Disick in the truck. This is a Central Michigan alumni convention. It's a quorum. 0-2 on Marcy.
Hernandez dancing around over there trying to time Casey in his delivery to home, and Casey just gave him that little throw over there. I see you dancing around. Just stay right there.
And he does on this pitch. That's high, a fastball, 1-2. Marcy has not hit very many ground balls this year. Just basically 1 out of every 5 off his bat is a ground ball. He struck out in the first. That's a big lead. Then Hernandez spun his wheels. So did Marcy. Everybody was caught in between on that one pitch.
Yeah, it just dancing around over there too. And Casey just stayed nice and calm, bouncing, trying to get that good jump. And then again, Marcy taken by surprise with that backdoor slider. That's twice in a row that Casey's been able to get Marcy with that slider.
You a Genesis fan? That was the land of confusion in one pitch. That was a great shot from field level to see both of them caught in between.
Wasn't
That's an outstanding. That deserves a Mitty Award this month for best look at two things happening at the same time.
That was just to see the bouncing Hernandez over at first base. Just trying to time things up. And Casey is focused on Dylan Dingler. We've seen that where if he throws over, the catcher is dropping his mitt to really tell him when to throw over.
There goes Hernandez. Pitch is low. That's a tough get for Dingler, and it's a stolen base for Hernandez.
He finally timed it up right. He had about 2 chances when Marcy was at bat, when he was really taking that hop over there at first base, and finally timed it up just perfectly. Had that walking lead and really a good jump. And Dylan Dingler, who's really good at throwing base runners out, had no shot.
Ground ball to first. That's Torque sweeping it up. He'll run to the bag. That moves Hernandez to third. 2 away for Ramirez. Marlins this series with anybody on base down there in Ingeland. 0 for 13. They were 4th in baseball entering the series. That early season numbers can be so volatile, and that is a perfect example of it. It's also a credit to Mize and Montero and the Tigers bullpen for when there has been any trouble on the bases, it has subsided fast.
And you've got to be able to pitch out of trouble, because you know that there's going to be base runners, especially with an offense like this. But you got to continue to focus on that hitter.
How about that two-seamer? That was wicked.
Yeah, this is a little interesting here. We'll see. It's 0-2 again. The last time up, he got that slurve that was in the middle of the plate and lined it into center field. See if he stays with the fastball this time, goes up.
Yeah, that's exactly how you're thinking about it, is how he's thinking about it.
Just, I think, as he swung through those other fastballs, and they may have sped his bat up a little bit the first time, If you're going to throw that slider, you got to bury it down and away.
Now what on 2-2 is the question here. 2 fastballs out of the zone.
And he hasn't seen that split finger. Well, no, he did on the first pitch. You could go back to that. You've showed him 2 fastballs up. You could go to that split finger.
Swing and a miss on another 2-seamer. He liked the swing he got on the second pitch of the sequence so much, he went to the well again.
Just loved that he wasn't going to let him beat him like it did the first time up. Stay with the fastball, out of the inning.
Add extra tickets to fit your family. Don't miss out. Visit tigers.com/Sunday for more information. To be clear, I skipped over a piece of this read, which in parentheses now says Andy Dirks sized family. For a larger
there
family.
It is in parentheses.
Yeah. And now it says 4 bags of chips as well. All this means is the marketing department wants us to read it as written. So they're going to put all the ad libs on the paper now. So we're satisfied. Though I know you appreciate 4 chips as much as the next guy.
I do.
1-1. Just foul left side.
They're starting McGonigal off with 2 curveballs because he smoked that fastball his first at bat. And then right there, he comes back with another fastball and he hits another line drive just foul. See if he just stays with that curveball or something off speed again, because he seems to be all over that 4-seam fastball from junk.
That one's up, not near the strike zone. 2-2.
And there, you asked me about what's impressive. See how he just takes that so easy? I mean, he's just not even, doesn't even flinch.
That one too.
Look at that.
It's a fastball
staying with it. But yeah, kind of close to the strike zone and just kind of just follows it right in.
Three and 2. And he takes ball 4. It's a slider downstairs. That is nice from Kevin McGonigal with a leadoff walk as Wenzel Perez comes up. We say hello to Daniela Bruce. Hi, Daniela.
Hi, Jason. I'm glad the junk talk is over in this inning, but great work up there, as always. Wenzel Perez was sent to AAA Toledo to start this season, and the day that A.J. Hinch told him was during those 2 exhibition games in Arizona just before the season started. The morning Wenzel found out, he proceeded to hit 2 homers in the game that day.
And then he immediately went down to AAA and hit the ball well, yeah?
Exactly, yeah. Kept going in AAA, continued the success. And I asked Wenzel, was there some motivation behind that? Was that a reaction to the news? And he laughed and said, I think it was a little bit of that, but also just figuring it out at the plate. He said he had to start his swing a little bit earlier, start his timing and timing up with the pitchers just a little earlier. And that happened to be the moment that it clicked. But it gave him a lot of positive energy going to Toledo, because he said he felt like he found it and he would be able to continue that there, and knew that he'd be ready to go when this day came, and he was called up to Detroit.
That's happened now a couple times in the past few years, right? 2024, he shows up because of the early injury to Gio Urshela, and then he sticks and he stays. And now with the pretty significant injury, it seems like, to Parker Meadows, there's an opportunity. But to Daniela's point, the Tigers have done a great job the past few years making sure that the players in AAA and even in AA, if need be, feel like they are a part of what can happen up here, and they have paid that off with roster moves.
And it give a lot of credit to the player too, because they can go down and mope a little bit too, you know, and you've got to take it the right way. It used to be just you know, it crushed you when you were sent down, and you had to quickly get over it, but it took a lot of time sometimes. And, you know, with the right message, just saying, hey, you know what, you'll be right back up here. Just go down and figure things out. It's a little bit easier just one level down rather than trying to figure out it up here at this level.
That's a strike. 3 and 2 on a fastball. And players now know why roster moves get made. Like, sometimes it's not just performance. Guys have options, other guys don't. 3-2. Wenzel hits that ball in the air on the infield. Foul territory. Did you see the homer from Bryce Rayner last night?
I didn't.
This is Chevy's strongest player.
It's the Rayner.
This thing in Lakeland is over the batter's eye. I mean, that ball went 477 in Lakeland against the Daytona Tortugas. It was gone, like literally just disappeared.
The center fielder was looking over at the left fielder like, what the heck was that? Look how far that one went.
It's good to see him back and healthy.
Yes.
Yeah, 412 would not have done it. 472 would not have done it. I know baseball does want some offense in the game, but I really, you know, if they ever expand, if they ever have new ballparks, the Polo Grounds was so fun. You know, like just have it be like 480 to center field. See what happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the larger the dimensions, the better.
For you. And
what do you mean for me?
Well, no. For you pitchers, clown.
Okay.
Might have been for you.
Yeah, you
won a
especially,
World
Dan.
Series, dope. 0-2. That's a ball, and Junk started walking. So the challenge from Ramirez. It's ABS powered by T-Mobile. This challenge is either ball one or strike three. What do we have? Here it comes. Here it comes. Enjoy the music while you hold. It is strike three. Good challenge by Ramirez.
The call is overturned. Miami has 2 challenges remaining.
Got him by a thread.
Marlins haven't challenged a whole lot in terms of their batters, but their fielders have. 18 out of 28. We saw it last night. The batters were 3 for 7. The catcher has done very well for himself in the challenge department. Ramirez strikes again on that one for strike 3 in the third, and 2 down. There's a throw to first on McGonigal.
And just like Hernandez for the Marlins trying to time up Casey Mize, McGonigal is getting a little antsy over there at first base too.
There he goes, and it's chipped to the third base side and foul. It's a foul ball. It was off of. Oh no, it's a fair ball. They're going to say that was a fair baseball, and that's the end of the inning. Dillon stopped at the plate. I thought for sure that was going to be foul. Now wait a second. We have interference. It's interference on the catcher Ramirez. Dillon stopped. He was starting to walk to first. The third base umpire called it a fair ball. They threw to first base, and then eventually Malachi Moore, the plate umpire, hopped out from behind and pointed to both bases. It's interference, and it's the second time that's happened to Dingler in the last 2 days.
And 2 different catchers, so you wonder if both catchers are closer to the hitter, or there's something within Dylan Dingler's swing that is getting to the catchers. You see Ramirez kind of taking that step up to get McGonigal, and that's why I think that bat came back to hit him. Look how he's starting to creep up because he saw McGonigal running.
Yeah, so Malachi Moore had it initially. The third base umpire, Lance Barrett, called it a fair ball. He did not see that, so he was letting it play out. But Malachi Moore had it. It's the right call. There are 2 on with 2 out for the Tigers. Now, this is last night with Liam Hicks behind the plate.
And that was that just check swing. Watch Ramirez kind of lean forward just a little bit as he saw McGonigal stealing second, reach that glove out to get it quicker to start his transfer. Could have been one reason, but 2 different catchers on Dylan Dingler. That's either they're both closer to the hitter, or Dylan again maybe has got that dropping that bat head back behind the plate. Closer to the hitter, or Dylan again maybe has got that dropping that bat head back behind the plate.
Late swing on a slider, fouled away. That's a one-hopper that gets away from Ramirez. He got totally handcuffed, and the Tigers have second and third with 2 out in the third.
Tried to go back to that changeup, and this one he spikes it. Did not want to leave that one up, and very difficult pitch for Ramirez to block. Just kind of spiked right in front of that, right in front of the plate, right under the right arm of Ramirez. Now Riley comes up with a big 2-out hit.
A piece of it to stay alive.
That's a better changeup. That one had good downward action, lower in the strike zone. The one that Riley hit the first time up did not have that downward movement and just kind of hung right there at belt high. That had the really good sharp dive.
Another foul ball, that on a curveball. Riley Green, last 5 games, that's 6 baseballs, pretty well stung, 100 plus. 4 of them, the hardest, most recent hits have been base hits. Double figure pitches in this sequence. Number 10 coming. There's a high fly ball into right field. Riley Green has that one in a big way. Number 1 this year, an absolute no-doubter. It's 5-love. That catcher's interference just blew the game wide open.
It sure did.
Gary Carpenter tomahawks this ball foul.
Just extended that inning and just made Junk have to face Riley Green. And Riley Green, what an at-bat.
And the more he puts on tape that he can hit the high fastball with power, because that was in the top third of the zone.
And really, Jansen Junk had no answer for him. He tried a little bit of everything. Tried the changeup, he tried the curveball, and Riley just kept fouling them all off. Fouled off the 4-seam fastball and said, okay, I'll go back to that. Let's see if I can get it by him. Riley wasn't having it.
Carey lashes this ball to right field, and that should be extra bases, rippling into the corner. This is a 30-pitch inning. About half of them have come after the interference, and the Tigers are still rolling.
Yeah, right now they just seem to be just about on everything. No matter what it is, it's just one of those bad feelings when you're out there. You're like, man, everything I'm throwing up here is getting hit. I've got nothing to really go to in a big situation.
So Daniel Mosca is the pitching coach. We showed you Rob Marcello yesterday, who's calling the pitches from the bench. Daniel Mosca is the former Pirates farmhand, among others. Goes out to talk to Jansen Junk.
Boy, that just has to be to give him a breather after you said 30 pitches in this inning. Just to give him a little extra breath here, just to catch his breath. Try to get out of this 3rd inning.
Torque hoping to prolong it. First pitch, called ball 1. That's a strike on a breaking ball. 1-1 to Torkelson. (15 of the 32 after the interference call. Foul ball called by Moore, the plate umpire. Riley Green, his first home run this year, and they tend to come in bunches.
You bet. And after you get that first one too, you got to exhale a little bit. I knew I'd get it.
This has gone from inning to saga. Jansen Junk over 70 pitches now. Carpenter at second. Swing and a miss, a rare chase from Torque, and the inning's over. But man, Dan, something so small like contact with a bat from a catcher can totally flip a game.
You know, and it just looked like, uh-oh, it might be the third out of the inning, and then the catcher's interference, and then Riley Green.
6-5 scoreboard. Tigers 5, Marlins nothing. Top of the fourth inning. 3-run homer, Riley Green, and Casey Mize bankrolled to a sizable lead in this fourth. Called a strike. Hicks kind of looked back and calls for time instead of calling for a challenge. I think it was a delayed strike call. I think he thought it might have been away.
Yeah, my initial reaction was, again, it tailed off a little bit, but I thought it was a strike.
So he plugs a ball into center field. Liam Hicks, a leadoff single in the fourth.
And if you're Casey, now that you've got that 5-run lead, it's just, hey, keep doing what you were doing that first 3 innings, because that was working really well. Throwing that good fastball, not a whole lot of secondary pitches, really establishing the 4-seam fastball and the sinker, and then mixing in those off-speed pitches, their secondary pitches.
Ball 1 on a fastball. Otto Lopez had a double for himself in the second inning. Casey Mize left him stranded over at third. And he clubs this ball into left field. That's a long way to go. Lopez into second. And second and third, nobody out for the Marlins in this fourth.
Yeah, to kind of watch the velocity a little bit on these fastballs. These fastballs now, Casey was at 94, 95. He did have that long wait, that long inning. And the fastball right now, it's at about 91. It's dropped. And, you know, you don't know if it just got a little stiff over there in that long inning. And hopefully Casey will start loosening up and get that velocity back like he had early in the game.
It's Casey. He chops it foul. That splitter to start the sequence. Double Casey here. And on our score bug, it says Casey Mize. It's rare that the full name of one player is on there with 2 players combined.
You don't miss anything.
Oh, it's our truck, really. No, Casey Mize. It's a great Wheel of Fortune before and after puzzle. Owen Casey Mize. 0-2. Wave and a miss. A lethal splitter to Casey from Casey.
Yes, it was. And good to see from Casey Mize. Just that's 2 of them in that at bat. And Dylan Dingler also making that determination. You know what? Maybe that fastball, that velocity's a little bit off. Let's start mixing in something a little bit different. And a couple of really good split fingers in that at bat from Casey Mize.
Right back to it.
Yeah, that's what you can do though once you establish that fastball. First 3 innings, a lot of 4-seam, a lot of sinkers, now coming out and just showing that off-speed stuff.
This is in the air for right field. Wenzel Perez makes the catch. The tag from Hicks, the tag from Lopez. The Marlins get a run and a base, and there are 2 out in the 4th. First pitch, pop up. First base, Torque has the final out of this top of the 4th. Still 5-1 Tigers.
And Riley Green received their Silver Slugger awards from the 2025 season. Zach McKinstry told me he's going to add that to his collection of baseball memorabilia that he has in his office. That sounds like it just holds all of his baseball memorabilia at this point.
There's out number 1 on a pop-up to Lopez, you were saying.
And Riley Green also getting his award as well. And I was down there for the ceremony, you guys. One thing I wanted to shout out is that you saw hitting coaches Michael Bedard and Lance Sawadsky down there with them, and the pride beaming on their faces was so evident. They shared a bunch of hugs after the awards were presented, and I think those guys might even appreciate it more than the players sometimes, because you know how much work they put in each and every season to make sure each and every player is having some success at the plate.
So a hitting coach is one of the toughest jobs in baseball, because there's always somebody who's going well, but there's always somebody struggling.
Yeah,
on every team.
At least one. But I noticed that, Daniela, too, and that was such a neat ceremony for them to be able to stand there and get recognized, too, because I'm sure Riley and Zach wanted them out there to take part in that. Just, hey, without these 2 guys, you know, we might not have won these awards. These guys had every bit to do of us getting these awards.
Windy day, pop up to first, and Norby makes the catch. No, he doesn't. He couldn't put it away. He had it and he dropped it. Norby could not haul it in. That wind is whipping out there, and he was in no man's land. So Norby boots it.
Well, it looked like he had it all the way, just following it right into the glove, and it just kind of spun his glove over and fell out.
He thought he had it.
Yeah, watch it turn his glove. It just flipped his glove over and opened up and just dropped right out.
E3 on Norby.
Well, here you go. Take advantage of it, just like the catcher's interference. You get a couple more swings.
I mean, for Norby there, everything went as planned except for the last moment. Swing and a miss. 2 down. Here's a message from your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
AZ Plan customers who trade in their current vehicle can lease an F-150 XLT for only $349 a month for 36 months. Only at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
2 down, bases empty, 4th inning on a chilly day at Comerica Park. A well-attended Tigers game despite some frigid weather, as Kevin McGonigal fouls the first pitch away.
Yeah, this is a nice crowd. You can see a lot of standing out in center field out by the statues. Bleachers out in the outfield full.
Sun does a lot of wonders. It could be this cold and cloudy, and you wouldn't have the same vibe in the ballpark necessarily.
Yeah, you know, I don't think it's a giveaway. It's just a big crowd.
Hockey
Is
jerseys.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you already have so many hockey jerseys, you feel like that's not a giveaway. You just have Jeff's jersey from the Wing, Jeff's jersey from the Wild.
No, I was just kind of looking around to see if anybody was carrying anything, you know, in the stands. I didn't see it. I just thought it was just one of those, hey, we're excited about this team.
No, it's deceiving because a lot of people put them on. It's blending in because those are the giveaways right there.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
That's why.
All right.
You know, like the Dan Petrie bobblehead, everybody's carrying those, so you can see it pretty clearly. They wouldn't wear that.
No, there's not even one of those.
Not even for a spec, just to like show what it would look like?
No.
I'd like the prototype. 2-2. Little piece fouled away.
You've got one though, right?
No.
Yeah, you do.
No.
No?
From a previous team, there were shirts and hats.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that there was.
I sound like AJ at my previous stop. 2-2. Ground ball to first. That's foul. We should have one of the entire broadcast team. We should have all of us together on a doing the bobblehead thing. Daniela on the bobblehead would be holding her phone, filming lip sync videos.
I was just going to say we might have to have a lip sync bobblehead.
I mean, that would be awesome. Ground ball to second, little double clutch. Edwards has it there in time. 5-1 Tigers. After
Dylan Dingler and says, hey, tell me why you threw that 0-2 after blowing 2 fastballs by him. Why'd you throw that slurve? Next time up, they got to 2 strikes. They're not going to give him anything off speed. They're going to blow that fastball right by him. And then after that inning, they got conversed again and said, there you go. That's the one. You want to be right up there high. AJ's listening right there. Like, there's always something where the Marlins, they're calling the pitches. That's one of those teaching or learning moments for everybody. Just tell me why you guys threw that 0-2 breaking ball instead of just staying with that fastball that he showed that he couldn't hit. And then everybody gives the reasoning, well, you know what, whatever the reasoning might be. And then AJ gives his point of view, and then the next at bat, they go out and just do the game plan perfectly and get the strikeout in that second at bat of Ramirez.
2 things there. One, you see all corners of it because you have Chris Fetter and the pitcher, and then you have AJ and the catcher, Dylan Dingler. And then also, we've heard quite a bit that Dylan Dingler, while he's very confident in his pitch calling ability, he also looks for feedback between innings. Like, there is a constant, steady improvement that he's always seeking out. That 3-1 just misses. It's ball 4, and Hernandez is on with the first walk for the Marlins today.
But, Dylan Dingler could also say, well, you know what, it wasn't where I wanted the pitch. I wanted it way outside, so Casey could have made a better pitch. But I think it was more of, well, okay, I understand he could have thrown it in a better spot, but why did you call that? And then if he comes up with a good reason, then AJ will say, okay, but then AJ on the other side says, oh man, wait a minute, he couldn't catch up to the fastball, and they proved it that second at bat.
Marcy takes another pass at another first pitch. It's strike 1 at 92. So StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Here are the first pitches that he's seen in this series, and he has been a free swinger early in counts and late in counts.
It looks like a steady amount of those up and in too. Not letting his hands get extended or making it difficult for him to get the barrel to it on the inside part of the plate.
Oh, 2 on the ground to first. Torque spins it to second. The return pass to first is going to be late, but the Tigers cut down the lead runner. Marcy replaces Hernandez at first, and there's one away.
Yeah, Spencer Torkelson, that he does so often. Watch him come get that ball so he can create a good lane. Hernandez is on the infield grass trying to cut off that lane, trying to take that ball right in the middle of his back. But Spencer Torkelson knows that Hernandez is going to do that. So he comes up, attacks that ball to give him that himself that really good lane to make that strong throw. Just couldn't get the speedy Marcy.
He's showing it right there. Like, should I have gone slider? He's kind of showing the trajectory. I think he's talking to McGonigal. Like, should I?
Yeah, which shoulder do you want to know? I mean,
yeah.
He does that so well. I mean, gets into that lane where those runners are doing everything they can, and Hernandez could have even went further on the infield grass, but just did a nice job to create that lane.
So here comes Edwards, who they got on a splitter last time. Fastball, splitter, splitter was the sequence. Remember, Montero threw him some filthy changeups yesterday, so Dingler went out to talk to Casey about this at bat. We'll see where they go first. It's a fastball, a two-seamer high. It's at 93. Served to left field, and that is playable for Carpenter. 2 gone.
Yeah, we were just looking at each other trying to figure out that conversation, why Dylan Dingler went out there, and it could have been a little bit about giving Casey a little bit of a blow from covering first with that ball hit over Spencer Torkelson. Casey's going to run over to first base, and because of that pitch clock ever ticking so fast, they wanted to give Casey just that little extra blow to face Edwards.
It's a great point. I mean, Tarek Skubal, as well conditioned and as successful of a pitcher as the last couple of years, I mean, there have been times where he said, yeah, man, like Raj or Ding, they're very aware when I need somebody to come out.
Yeah, he'll call Fed out, you know, like, I'm tired, come out.
Popped up. Right side of the infield. Ramirez skies it. McKinstry catches it. We're halfway home with the Tigers up 4. Tigers are up 5-1 in this game. Everybody clapping along. Nope, that's not you. You can't have that. Probably 19 years too soon. Just gonna say.
All right, come on, Wenzel. Just want him to get those hits so he's not, you know, coming up putting his, you know, pressure on himself.
Yeah, he's as feverishly chasing his first hit this year as that kid was chasing that drink. 2-0 on Wenzel Perez. And he takes a strike. 2-1. Perez, Keith, and Dingler coming up. John King is warming in the Marlins bullpen. Second base, Edwards for out number 1. And tomorrow's probable starters presented by Bet365. As good as it gets early on in baseball.
I saw this matchup earlier in the week, and I was counting. Because that Alcantara, we saw him last year in Miami, and he's back to that 2022 form. And of course, Tarek Skubal taking the loss in Minnesota. He's going to be very, very angry. That's going to be a heck of a game.
Sandy Alcantara won the Cy Young in 2022. It was just 4 years ago, and he's kind of been up and down trying to find it again, and he has early this year to be the ace for the Marlins that they are looking for.
Yeah, just already has a Maddox, you know, in his second start, the 9-inning shutout. And then almost his next start out went 8 1/3. So, I mean, right out of the gate, complete games, throwing a lot of pitches. That's something that he did a lot of back in 2022 also. Just, he's a guy that you certainly want to keep healthy. And he wants to. That's the thing about him. It's, you know, some pitchers they want to, but the organization will, you know, pull back the reins a little bit. But he is like, I want to start a lot and I want to finish games.
Colt forcing that pitch count even further up. I mean, 2022, as you're talking about, 6 complete games for Sandy Alcantara. 6.
Yeah.
3 of them the next year in 23 as King and his sinker slider combination get loose. Strike 3 called. 2 down. So here comes Dylan Dingler, who had the catcher's interference call that prolonged the 3rd inning. And to be clear, by the way, it was well called by the third base umpire, Lance Barrett. I initially thought it might have been a foul ball by the reaction. He called it fair, and the reason he called it fair is you can take the play if the result ends up being better than the interference call would have gotten you. So the plate umpire made the call. They didn't stop play because you can take the result. Now, Dylan was already taking off his shin guard in order to go ahead and take first base. But you can take the result of the play. If that gets thrown away, that ends up being multiple bases. You'd like to have run to first.
Yeah, the offense always has the choice of taking the better or advantage play, and you're right. If that sails down the line, the third base line, everybody can just pinwheel around the bases.
It's a bit like when a penalty is called on the defense in hockey.
Yeah, the goalie comes out,
yep,
and you get the extra attacker.
And play continues until the defense has possession.
But that, I mean, twice to Dylan Dingler, we thought he was hit.
Back to the mound, off of Junk. Junk recovers and throws to first. To the 6th week, Mize through 5 has a 5-1 lead for the Tigers. Will play into the 6th as you can barely find a cloud in the sky in downtown Detroit. It's the anniversary of the opener at Comerica Park back in 2000. The Mariners and the Tigers, 26 years ago today, this beautiful ballpark opened on a snowy day.
I was here. I remember it well. Just there's no way they were going to cancel that game. There's little ice pellets out in the outfield, and it was chilly.
Liam Hicks on 1-0 takes a strike. What do you remember from the first game here?
I remember trying to get anything warm to drink, and you know, it was new, and so some of the concession stands were not fully equipped. So there was not, I don't think, any hot chocolate, coffee, things like that. It was miserably cold. It was, and the Tigers won.
I was gonna say, but a Tigers win.
You know. Yep. I was trying to think if Moeller did.
I think that's right.
Started, and Jonesy
closed it.
Yeah, and he closed out the Tiger Stadium.
Ground ball to second, McKinstry to first. Now a message from Rally House, Michigan.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
It has felt like the Marlins have swung early in this series quite a bit. There have been some quick at-bats. And Miami came into this game second in terms of lowest first pitch swing rate in all of Major League Baseball. The Marlins have been first pitch takers for the most part this year, as Lopez did there. This series has been different.
And you know that the Tigers, they stress that first pitch strikes, you know, so you wonder if, okay, these Tiger pitchers are going to come right at you with first pitch strikes. And Cater Montero and Casey Mize have done that today. Cater was really high. I think he was at 71 yesterday. Casey's right around, you know, league average, around 63, 64%. But I'm just surprised at all the fastballs by Casey and Cater. And I guess if they're saying if they're going to swing early and they're going to give us an out, I mean, challenge them right away. Challenge them with your best pitch. Challenge them with those fastballs, playing right into the hands of the Tigers.
Rolled to short. McGonigal, high throw. He is safe. Lopez beats it out. McGonigal uncorked a wild one, and that E6 will put a runner on.
Yep, just a routine little ground ball over there, and just maybe got underneath it a little bit. Just like pitchers kind of dropped their elbow, just kind of flipped it up a little bit high, pulled torque off the bag. McGonigal kind of had that sheepish look on his face like, oh man, I can't believe I did that.
First pitch swing. Casey in the air to right field. Wenzel Perez says it's his. He is right. 2 down. So there goes Casey again. First pitch swings in this series, the Marlins 34%. That's a pretty sizable jump for what their first handful of series have been.
Yeah, and Casey, I think he's swung at the first pitch all 3 at bats, where yesterday I thought he was really patient. So I mean, completely flipped around.
There's another first pitch swing. This one tailing into right field, into the corner. Perez can't get there. That's a fair baseball. And the Marlins are going to start the carousel. That went up and over, and so it's going to be a double. It'll be second and third. Wenzel pointing to where the ball ended up. And so A.J. Hinch is going to come out. We'll see what the umpires say about this. Where the ball disappeared into that shadowy corner. Wenzel put his arms up.
And AJ's going to argue trying to get the runner back
to second and third.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what they say. Watch where the ball ends up here. That is a fair ball, and then it goes up over the top, I believe.
It touched Wenzel's glove, I think.
It did. Yeah, it's in the stands. I mean, that's. Let's see what they say. This should be second and third.
Okay, they're putting it back.
Yeah, this should be second and third.
They were high-fiving each other like the run was scoring, and I was a little surprised at that. AJ's going to go to the.
I mean, there was the one in Minnesota where the ball lodges. You have to put your hands up.
Right.
So when the ball disappears into row 7, you don't have to say, hey, I can't get to it. You'd need a step ladder and an electrician. Second and third, 5-1 your score when we come back. Anderson in the 6th. He left 5 on himself through 5, and now Drew will try to strand these 2 on behalf of Casey Mize. Our Wallside Windows pitching change. Anderson against Paulie, the left-hander, with 2 out and 2 on in the 6th.
Anderson last pitched on Monday, and it was his best outing as a Tiger. And A.J. Hinch must like Anderson in that kick change in this at-bat to try to keep those 2 runners right there where they are. Strand them right there, get the Tigers back in the dugout.
There's a curveball that arches in for a strike from Anderson to Paulie, who's popped out twice, once to third and once to first. Lopez is well down the line at third. This tapper ripples foul, and it's 1-2 on Paulie.
There's that kick change that Drew Anderson's known for, and you can see the kind of uncomfortable looking swing just tapped foul. But Anderson on Monday went 3 innings, gave up just a couple of hits and a run, but had 4 strikeouts. Really trying to finish that game. And couldn't quite do it, but that was by far his best outing. He looked like he was in complete control, had all his pitches working, and that was that miserable, uncomfortable day.
You know, it's one of those starts in Minneapolis where, as you think about it as a pitcher, it's like, now I got to throw 4 or 5 good ones, right? But he's right back on the horse with 1 good one, and that's all you can do on a given day. As this goes off the mound, McGonigal at short, on target this time, inning over. Marlins are finished in the Wallside Windows pitching change is John King, the left-hander for the Marlins. We talked about it a bit this series, but we're going to steal a camera from our director Andrew and go dandy cam here, where Dan can home in on what the Marlins are doing with Rob Marcello, the pitching coach, calling it from the bench.
Yeah, looking at it yesterday, just calling all the pitches to the catcher, and talked about having the buy-in from the pitchers and the catchers, but you wonder why they're doing it. You know, I had a long conversation with our catcher, my catcher, Lance Parrish, about this. and just to find out how he felt about it. And these catchers, I mean, they take their pitch calling and the way they handle pitchers very, very serious. So you've got to have that buy-in from these catchers. You see him look in there, he gets the sign, then looks at it on his wrist, the chart on his wrist, and then puts down the sign, or goes to PitchCom to give him the sign. And it's, are they trying to teach the catcher something? Are they trying to teach the pitcher something? What are they basing? Is it a computer generated, model that they're calling those pitches from based on counts and the pitcher on the mound?
So what did Lance have to say when you talked to him about it?
I mean, he hated the idea, because again, he takes it so serious, and he's saying, you know what, I'm 2 feet in back of that hitter.
The chopper to second base, and Edwards for round number 1.
I'm 2 feet in back of that hitter. I know what those hitters might be doing, and this is from his book that came out. And Sparky Anderson, when he came out, when they started doing it for us in 1981, either we had the dumbest pitchers in the league or there's another problem. And Lance took that as, well, wait a minute, are all the pitchers stupid or is it me? So Lance kind of charged in there and said, well, why are you doing this? As Carpenter takes one in the back.
Carries all right. Runner on with 1 out. So let me play devil's advocate here, if I might.
Yeah.
So offensive coordinators in football are the ones calling plays because quarterbacks can't see the whole picture necessarily of sequencing and all of that, right? So you're separate, sometimes up in a booth, watching from above of the all-22 camera. What if, and I'm not saying I believe necessarily that this is the way to go, but you could see that maybe people get hypercharged in the moment because they are competing. And you could have some success with a separate, agnostic, emotionally party.
I see the football analogy. Now, I didn't play football, but it makes sense to me to look over above and see exactly what defenses are being played and what the alignment is. But I mean, you're in the dugout, you're off to the side, and the catcher is 2 feet behind the hitter. What's he doing in the box? Is he moving up? Is he getting closer to the plate? Is he getting closer to the pitcher? You know what? Hey, I think the slider is a great pitch. Well, the catcher is catching it and saying, his slider stinks today. But if a computer says, hey, that's the pitch he should throw in this situation, based upon, okay, it's his best pitch and here's the hitter. But that particular day, it might not be. And that's where the catcher comes in and says, you know what, this hitter is moving, the hitter is looking for it. And the pitch is not good today. It might be later on in the game, but right now it's not. So maybe they're taking it out of the catchers so they can concentrate on hitting too.
Could be. That's ball 4, 2 on, 1 out. My longtime college football broadcast partner, Brock Heward, used to say, life is trade-offs. He says it all the time. It's one of his favorite sayings. Life is trade-offs. The Marlins, it feels like, are trying to use a trade-off of seeing it bigger picture and believing that there's like a proper mix of pitches for a guy to throw, and then using that as value rather than what their catchers are doing in the moment. But the trade-off there is, if you're a catcher who takes pride in what they do behind the plate, I don't know that I'm going to sign there as a free agent. And that's a totally fair thing for catchers to say.
Right. Or when Ramirez becomes a free agent, and is he going to be sought after by another team saying, well, wait a minute, this guy has had pitches called for him. What does he know about calling a game?
And we've heard it in college baseball forever, right? When guys come out of college programs where they're not calling their own pitches, that's the first question scouts ask, is can he call a game?
And that's where the development comes in the minor leagues. And, I don't know if they're doing it down in the minor leagues, but, that's where you learn how to handle a pitching staff. But, I mean, You know, they could just say, you know, Hicks and Ramirez, we want you to concentrate on just your offense. We don't want you to think about anything other than just come and getting the sign and putting it down.
One, two. That's a swing and a miss. And strike three. McKinstry is out. 2 down.
But I know when part of that line is the dumbest pitchers in the world. You know, I mean, we always wanted that last say, you know, and I remember when the pitches were being called and we knew it was being called and you're like, I don't want to throw that. And so you end up throwing it without conviction. You know, you're like, man, they want me to throw a curveball here or whatever. I feel like the right pitch is a slider or my split or my change, whatever it might be. And you end up not throwing it the way you should.
So could you then say,
or hang it?
The right catcher, you know, and pitcher is a little bit like pilot, co-pilot in an airplane, where in some cultures the co-pilot won't say anything to the pilot, and that's how crashes happen, right? So if the catcher and pitcher don't have like equal footing in the way they're talking to one another, or the pitcher isn't going to throw with conviction, like you say, could you avoid accidents by having a third party do it?
I still want the final say, though.
Of course you do. You're the analyst and a pitcher.
And
that is the perfect role for you to want final say twice.
You know, but the catcher could also look over there and get that sign and like, I don't like that. You know, I mean, eventually I'd like to see them, you know, have the ability to throw what they want to.
There could be decoy signs in there too.
No, exactly, 100%.
It's fascinating. I mean, to draw that level of attention, to try something like this, you know that you're going to be scrutinized. So I give them credit for doing it.
And they're not the only team that's doing it. The Rockies are doing it too.
Because one of their coaches came from Miami. That's a wraparound strike three, and Vierling is out, and the inning is over. And subscribe by visiting tigers.tv now. Now. And we need in the bottom of an inning, we need a baseball to go into that pizza hole. Daniela did the update on it yesterday, that it's been enlarged by 100%.
Yeah, I actually learned that it's 6 feet in diameter because I was out there and I'm like, I feel like it's about as tall as me, but it's actually taller. So
is it really?
Or as long, I guess, diameter. What would you call that? Length or width?
I would call it the diameter.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
You looked like you were going to jump in when you were doing
I really wanted to, but I had my boots on yesterday that I didn't want to ruin.
The boots that Andy Dirks picked out for you. Ground ball to short, and McGonigal takes care of out number one. Hernandez out for the first time today.
Goes out, Jason.
What's that?
I said you had a part in picking out those boots, by the way.
Yeah, you letting Andy and me pick out your wardrobe in any way is bound to be a disaster.
So many people love those boots, though.
Is that right?
Yeah, you guys did a great job.
You look like the sheriff's deputy. Because Paddock was pitching, they call him the sheriff, you know?
That's right.
It's nice. Ball one to Marcy. Did you ever find the 500 people, Daniela? I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
No, that's okay. I actually just went over to one of the sections where they're sitting, but they are spread out all over the ballpark. Some even got suites for this game, so they're everywhere.
That's cool.
But there's a big, big group out in the section down the first base line.
Oh, we're in that just general vicinity down the line over there.
Do you want the section? You going to go visit them?
No, we're not going to go on a wild Benetti chase. No, Andrew was just showing the first base line off our beautiful wire cam there.
He's good at following everything we say.
That takes a village.
It does.
2-1. See the Marcy jersey out there in the crowd. 3 balls and a strike to Jacob. Looking for his first hit of the series. You would imagine the lineup would change tomorrow somewhat with Skubal, the left-hander, on the mound. The Tigers don't know what a left-handed opposing starter looks like anymore.
Did Marcy, he wanted to get the picture with Verlander, right?
He did.
Did Daniela get that done?
She was going to try to get that done. I don't think she ran into JV this morning.
JV threw a bullpen today, so he was not in the clubhouse when we were in there. But I've put it in enough people's ears that I feel like it could still happen tomorrow.
You have?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Jacob Marcy, if you missed it yesterday, Daniela reporting that he wanted to get a picture with Justin Verlander. It was a family member, right, that said just go ask him?
Yeah, his dad really wants him to get a picture with JV. Reminder that Marcy grew up a huge Tigers fan, coming to Comerica Park to watch games in the Justin Verlander era, part 1. So he would love to get a picture with him. But hey, JV can be a little intimidating. I get it. I don't know if I'd walk right up to him either.
3-2 on Marcy. In the air, right field side, toward the corner it goes, and that ends up being foul. Where'd you get the pictures from, Bruce?
Oh, these pictures?
Yeah.
These were our producers' work.
Oh, Denny Blunt.
Yeah, shout out the producers.
How about that? Young Jacob Marcy. Sun's out, guns out.
The sleeveless is a choice that I love.
Oh, man.
3-2. He takes his base. Ball 4. It's a one-out walk for Marcy. How about back-to-back home series? You have Marcy, who grew up coming to here to watch Tigers games at Comerica Park, and then Joel Pozo, right, who posted the picture of him at Comerica Park in 2011 on opening day, and then 15 years later is here for the home opener as a player.
And yeah, I mean, I remember the same thing as a kid. You know, wherever you grow up, you go down to your home ballpark and watch, and when you find, you know, you just dream about, oh, I just want to walk on that outfield grass, catch a fly ball on that grass.
At Toledo, in left field at the Mud Hen Stadium, there are a couple statues of like the knothole gang, of like kids looking through the fence, right? And that's what I think of when you say that. It's just like trying to get in, trying to buy a ticket, don't have, you know, the spare change. Ground ball to first. That's a fair baseball. Torque will take the out at second as he wrestled with it just a little bit. Would have been tough to turn too. So Marcy to second, 2 gone in the 7th.
Yeah, just being able to just catch that one and just make sure a 1 at this point of the game. With just that little short hop right down the line and pick it. Stay calm, step on the bag, make sure you get 1.
There's that changeup. Foul third base side to Ramirez.
You know, I think about that. Just it was Angel Stadium for me, and going to watch Nolan Ryan, and I wanted the same thing. You know, to get a picture with Nolan Ryan or meet him. And I remember it was arranged for me to meet him, and yeah, I was tongue-tied.
That's Drew Anderson getting a bouncing ball. McGonigal puts it on Torque, and the inning's over. Tigers will go to the home 7th, and McGonigal will lead it off in the 7th inning. He's got a double in the 1st. He's 1 for 2 today. Here are his hits so far in 2026 at StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. Straight ahead, couple of times. Then the right field, left field corners. He has sprayed the ball everywhere, you could say. Trying to patch up holes as people find him and use the bat to ball skills that are so strong. He's the first Tiger now with 6+ doubles in his first 15 career games since Brennan Bosch in 2010, 16 years ago. Marlins go to the bullpen. Michael Peterson in after John King threw a scoreless 6th. Peterson, tall drink of water, the right-hander who threw 22 pitches on Wednesday and throws a lot of fastballs to left-handers.
And picked up his first career save on that game in Cincinnati on the 8th.
These are wall side windows pitching change, and he goes fastball there to McGonigal.
Boy, straight over the top, creating that big downward angle.
Kevin goes up for that fastball and skies it to right. Casey makes the catch, and there's one away. 31,000 plus here today, Dan. It's a great crowd.
It is. It's so nice to see, too, this early in the season. You know, you get that big opening day crowd, and then, you know, it takes a while, but this early, just what, the 5th game?
Yeah, game number 5 at home this year as we take a look at the on-deck hitter, sponsored by CNL Ward. It is Colt Keith getting ready for the 3rd at bat of this inning after McGonigal flies out to right. Now Wenzel Perez looking for that first hit, and he has to sidestep a wayward changeup.
Yeah, that 4-seam fastball from Peterson, that's averages 97 miles an hour. Also throws that cutter and changeup.
It's been a streaky year so far for the Tigers, right? Win the first 2, lose the next 4, win 2 in a row, lose 5 in a row, win yesterday, up 5-1 today. Fly ball socked to center field. Marcy makes the catch.
It's just this home crowd, though. Just I think it just energized everybody. You could just see it, you know. And the way the Tigers came out today, a big crowd. You know, they energized by the crowd. AJ talks about it all the time. Like, the players notice it. They notice the crowd. They notice how loud they are, and it does. It energizes them, especially as down as they were after losing. You know, getting swept in Minneapolis, came right back here and looked like the Tigers we expected.
Colt hits this, first base. To retire the side. Norby makes the catch. We will go to the 8th. Tigers trying to protect that lead. Who is it today? It's Anthony Castro, who spent 3 years in Major League Baseball, signed with the Tigers in 2011, debuted during that odd COVID year, and then pitched 1 game with the Tigers, July of 2020 against Kansas City. Whether or not you got a cup of coffee or an entire breakfast, you, and yes, you, can be Tiger of the Day. Dan Petrie could be Tiger of the Day if he plays his cards right, and the randomizer chooses it.
You think they could come up with clues to stump me?
On yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Think so? That would be
You'd be like
embarrassing.
Mickey Lolich.
That would be embarrassing.
It would be.
You know?
Clues popped up about yourself.
But if somebody could do
Yeah,
it,
no,
it would be me. I see you looking at me.
You started looking at me.
Well, I know it.
Circus animal.
We're both thinking it.
1-1. That's a chopper, third base side on the charge. Keith had to veer for it, then he snaps it over and makes the play. That was well done by Colt at third for out number 1.
Yeah, that was just, it almost looked like it right off the end had that side spin on it. Yeah, that took a hop over to the left of Colt Keith when it spun inside the grass, and he had to make a little maneuver over that to stick his glove out. Fine running play.
One down for Otto Lopez. He's got 2 doubles today, but a big first out for Drew Anderson, who's trying to soak up some innings to bridge the gap between here and the 9th, and he has been really good so far, Dan. A lot of ground balls, a boatload of ground balls.
You know, I was just going to say the same thing about this is exactly why they got Drew Anderson. If he wasn't going to start, it was to do this role right here. Not come in and pitch an inning, but extend it and give them some length. And he's doing just that. He did it in Minnesota, and now he's doing exactly that. And this is where the last time I talked to him, I was really pulling for him to get through and finish that game on Monday. It was a loss, but now hopefully he can get through and finish this game too.
Popped up short center field and playable for Vierling for out number 2. Here's a message from Feiger Law for you.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, make Feiger Law your first call. Feiger Law. All we do is win.
Well, you know what? You're not going to be here tomorrow, so All we do is win.
Do you know how many people that makes happy every time you do it?
Well, just to kind of send you off, you know.
Thank you. What am I going to see?
You know,
I'll be
like
back on Tuesday.
you know, but I'll miss you tomorrow. I'll miss you, and you'll go off to wherever it is you're going, and you can hear that. Oh my God, I don't miss that guy. And
Dan will be scratching at the door, waiting for me to come back. No, Dan Dickerson will be in tomorrow. You guys will have a great time calling Skubal versus Alcantara.
It's
going to be great. You're in great shape. Dan Dickerson Sundays is a holiday. Dan Dicker Sundays.
Yeah, yep. And double Dan's, and you know, same birthday. I mean, we got a lot in common. Dan and I.
Yeah. Not us. Nobody would ever. 0-2. It's off the plate away. 1-2 for Owen Casey, who the Tigers have kept without a hit so far in the series. He didn't want to, but he went around. Strike three. Drew Anderson's been nails today.
How about that curveball? Just when you think it's a changeup or a four-seamer at the top of the strike zone, Uncle Charlie down.
Comerica Park. Tigers trying to add on to an already standing 5-1 lead in the 8th. And Dylan Dingler leads off and grounds a ball to third. That is right at Paulie for out number 1, and we invite you to bring friends, family, colleagues, teammates, and everyone you know to Comerica Park this season for an unforgettable experience. Group tickets now available for the 2026 season. Learn more at tigers.com/groups. Bring everybody you know. We got places for them. They can come hang out in the booth.
Marcy brought 500 of them.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Our house is your house here at Comerica Park. Ball 1 to Riley Green. Beautiful views from the outfield. The statues out there and the retired jersey numbers. It's imperative that the Tigers get a base runner here against the new pitcher Bender, because we just missed the Casa Grande High School reunion when the Cardinals were in town. Justin Brule in the Cardinals bullpen wasn't let to face Spencer Torkelson, being a lefty throwing to Tork's right-handed bat. But Bender is from the same high school, and in Tork's brother's class, they were classmates at Casa Grande High School. And Tork would be the 4th batter up in this inning. There's a swing and a miss. So somewhere, somebody in the development office for the Gauchos at Casa Grande, they need this to happen.
Yes, I'm with you. Torque's saying the same thing. Hey, we need a base runner. Come on.
Because of the high school connection. That goes over well in the dugout. Hey, guys, my brother was in the same class as him. So
come on, get on.
We need this. Do this for us.
Yep, that's what he and Michael Brodar are talking about.
Yeah,
they're not going over a scouting report.
No, it's, hey, what do you think he got in chemistry? I'll ask my brother. Two and two on Green from Bender. But 3 guys from the same high school in the big leagues, and they all run into each other in the first handful of series this year. Fouled away by Riley. The music people are getting their fill here. We got Creed, we got Aha, foul balls. We're getting great mixtape. 2 and 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Riley Green's driven in 4 of the 5 runs today for the Tigers.
How about your second of the game?
He'd take it. Not on that pitch.
There's your base runner.
Yeah, way outside. We like to tell you not only what's happening today, but what might happen in the papers tomorrow. Tomorrow's headlines today: you get an ace. Sandy Alcantara, 17 1/3 the last 2 starts, and you get an ace. Tarek Skubal trying to avoid his first 3-game losing streak since 2022. 1-0 was the final score of one of his starts at Arizona with the home run for Corbin Carroll, and that's it offensively for that game. You get an ace, and you get an ace, and everybody gets an ace tomorrow. This is one of those that you want to be here for.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And be thinking about it all night tonight. Can't wait to get to the ballpark tomorrow. Tarek Skubal, that'll be his first Comerica Park start this year too, right?
Yeah, a long time.
So you can imagine the reception that he's going to get, how excited he's going to be. Just love it when he goes down to warm up before the game and the crowd stands and applauds as he's going down to the bullpen, and when he's coming in, they're applauding. And I don't think that doesn't, the other dugout doesn't see that, you know. And when he's coming in and breathing fire, walking in, stalking, like, oh boy, we got the angry lefty.
That's right. Kerry Carpenter flies this ball to very shallow right, and Casey staggers in to make the catch for out number 2, and we do in fact get the Battle of Casa Grande, which you could probably convince somebody was an actual battle in a war. It sounds like it, the Battle of Casa Grande, just north of San Francisco, Petaluma, California. Casa Grande High School. Bender and Torkelson. First one. Inside, ball 1 to Torque.
I just have to say this. He tried that bender on the inside part of the plate and just missed.
Torque trying to use that rotational movement that you could call torque to hit a ball a long way. Runner goes. That's an easy stolen base for Riley Green. No chance for Ramirez behind the dish that time.
Riley with a really good jump, picked the right pitch to run on, and just need that big 2-out hit again. Just love these add-on runs anytime you can get them.
One and one. Oh, he yanked that big time. Past Ramirez. Riley Green coasts into third.
Boy, just a sinker that just held on too long. Look at how far outside this is. Now, I wonder when they called that pitch, I don't think they had that in mind.
Thinking you're right. You could see that the whole way. 2-1. And he lands that one. Now we're going to get a challenge, I believe. Yeah, Torque's going to challenge this.
The batter is challenging the call of strike.
It's an ABS challenge presented by Figer Law. It's either 2-2 or 3-1. We'll see if Torque's right. Ooh, it's a strike. Those sinkers are tough for batters.
Detroit has 1 challenge remaining.
Well, especially when you see one 6 feet outside,
right,
and then that one comes back and is about as nasty as you can throw one.
But that's a good challenge. You're up 5-1 in the 8th. You can't redeem them for dinner tonight,
nope,
so you might as well use it. 2-2. In the air, center field. Marcy on the charge. He lays out and he can't make the catch. Give the Tigers one more run. Torque dumps it in for a 6-1 lead.
That may have fooled Marcy out there. That sweeper on the outside part of the plate, right off the end of the bat. And Marcy probably just kind of stood right there. Torque was like, oh, man. And then just froze him, and then just no way he could catch up to it. Big add-on run.
Here it is again.
And it doesn't take much. You just freeze for just that split second, and that's the difference between him being able to pick that off the grass and it falling just underneath his glove.
And a little bit more cushion for the Tigers as this rolls to second, and Edwards to retire the side, but a 5-run lead.
And we will hear from that guy right there, Riley Green, after his monster home run. Also Colt Keith changing of stance and changing his ways early on in the season. Got that coming your way in just a little bit, boys.
Logan looking forward to that. There's a lot on the line here in the 9th inning. Tigers trying for a second straight win. Drew Anderson looking for his first career save in Major League Baseball after 2 years in Korea, 2 in Japan. It's a fly ball to right field. Wencel Perez is on the move. He makes the catch, and there's one away. And then A.J. Hinch, who credited his staff and his coaches and everybody that has helped him get to this point, he is 1 win shy of his 400th as a Tiger manager. Ty Cobb got to that number as a player manager. In fact, one of a number of Tiger managers to do so, but it would be a nice milestone for AJ.
Yeah, and AJ, when asked about it, didn't realize it, you know, and then has a chance to reflect on it a little bit.
When you think about where this team came from when he was in his first year in 2021.
It's just everything that he laid down, you know, his philosophy, the culture.
I mean, the level of selflessness that he requires, not only from his players, but also himself, and the level of dedication he has to making sure that each player gets the best communication from him so they always know where they stand.
And I think by doing that, these players will run through a wall for him. And that's how he gets the best out of each and every one of them, because they want to win for him. They'll do anything they can in their power to do that. They don't want to disappoint him because of how much he loves them. How many times you read about it? This is why we love him. This is why we love him, you know. Gets very close to his players.
1-2, check swing. Did he? He did not. Crowd less than thrilled with the third base umpire.
And that, look at the kick change too. That movement on it, maybe just held up.
Like Lance Barrett was probably right there, as it's 3-2 on Paulie.
But Drew Anderson showing really good stuff. The curveball, the fastball, and that kick change. It wouldn't even surprise me if he throws something other than a fastball right here.
On 3-2, he goes high fastball.
Just he already got the first out of the inning. You don't want to put anybody on, certainly by walking anybody, but it's just the confidence that he has right now in his curveball and his changeup, his secondary pitches.
Missed high, ball 4. It's a 1-out walk to Paulie. So Hernandez will bat. He has been on twice today, as there's Kenley Jansen getting loose in case of emergency here. Strike 1.
You know, we talked a little bit about it last night, but Kenley out there throwing, and he knows exactly, doesn't want to throw too much. You know, he's just kind of taking it easy and just watching the inning, how it develops. You know, with pitching last night, and if he gets up and he gets hot again, you know, they almost take that as an appearance. So that's why he just threw about 5, and now he's just kind of just staying right there, watching intently.
That pitch, Anderson pulled like the one Bender did in the bottom of the 8th. Yeah, but as you said, Kenley knows what he needs.
You know, and just to watch the inning, and as the inning gathers more intensity, if it does, his intensity will rise also.
That's there for a strike. There's the changeup. Comfortable, easy changeup from Anderson.
And again, behind in the count, 2-1. He's got that confidence in his secondary pitches, not just saying I can pump in the fastball. And Dillon not afraid to call it.
2-2, Paulie at first, and that's in the dirt.
And this is where the intensity just kind of starts back up for Kenley. He's getting a little bit more serious out there. And Hernandez is going to make him think a little bit about this pitch.
Did he just call a second timeout?
No, I think Drew stepped off.
That's what Malachi Moore's thinking.
Yeah,
okay,
one,
so 3-2. Paulie at first. Swing and a miss. Strike three. A fastball right by him to toast Hernandez. And 2 down.
Good fastball from Drew Anderson. That had a little bit of cheese on that one. At the top of the strike zone, and watch it kind of explode up there. Stays true, doesn't have that sinking action on it. Right by him. Come on, one more out, pick up that save.
Will be his first career major league save dating back to his debut in 2017. Marcy again pokes at the first pitch.
You don't get many opportunities, and it's such a great feeling to walk off that mound and shake everybody's hand. Drew Anderson's got a chance to do that.
How about that? The last 3+ innings saved by a Tiger was yesterday's Marlins starter, Chris Paddock. Foul ball. Paulie has to go back to first. 2 strikes on Marcy. Everybody who wasn't standing on the last pitch gets up now. Anderson to the local product, Marcy. 1-2. Stolen base for Paulie. All that does is take the force play out at second. 1-2 from Anderson. You know he wants to burn one by him.
Up to 96. And you see that just like we showed Casey Mize earlier in the game, that right side coming through just to get that little bit extra, that whole body behind that last fastball.
2-2. That's hammered in the air down the right field line, and foul. Marcy wanted his first hit to be a home run at Comerica Park. Lots of folks wearing Marcy gear would have loved that. The Tigers will thank their lucky stars that it's foul. Not by much.
No. And it started fair right off the bat and then just took foul. All right, kick change down and away.
For Drew Anderson. Another foul.
Boy, he's trying to get that fastball by him too.
Two again. It's popped up left of home. Dingler on the move. He runs out of real estate. Well, you have to assume with how diehard of a Tigers fan he was, Jacob Marcy was one of those kids who never left until the final out. He is being that again in this ballpark, but in a uniform rather than somebody else's jersey.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of people in the stands that want to see him do something too, and battling. See if he goes back to back. Back-to-back change-ups.
2-2. Man, another foul ball.
Can't get that fastball by him. They like to, a lot of times they like to double up on that kick change, and he tried it on the previous pitch to just fouled off. But elected to go back to that fastball.
Seen the kitchen sink. Marcy has from Anderson. Drew's ready with a 2-2. One more time. It's popped up. Back of home. No chance.
But it looks like Drew Anderson still has plenty in the tank the way he's going back and getting that extra for these fastballs.
Something's got to give. Pitch number 10 will lead to pitch number 11.
Tried a little bit of a wrinkle in that slider. You know, you just think, what would surprise him here? That's what's fun about, you know, he's just trying to blow that fastball away, but I don't think he's seen that curveball. If he starts it high, oh, he has seen one.
Just one.
Yeah.
It was 6 pitches ago now. 2-2 again. Outside on a changeup, 3-2.
And I kept calling for that changeup, and that's it. And he just looked at it. It was a little off the plate, but still, that was a good pitch.
Now Marcy calls for time. He hasn't had to call for time because he keeps fouling the ball off, and you get a second to yourself on a foul ball. Now the young man who used to come to Tigers games and every once in a while maybe boo somebody for restlessness gets booed for a very long at bat. Pitch number 12 coming to Marcy. Oh man.
What a battle.
Yeah, this is a standoff.
Boy, Drew Anderson just staring in too. And he's quite a competitor.
Pitch number 13 will lead to pitch number 14. I mean, Drew Anderson has been away from the U.S. in baseball for 4 years. Japan, South Korea, plying his trade to get back onto a major league mound. So he's certainly not going to back down.
And he wants this bad. I mean, this is a save. This is a save.
His first career save on the line. He gets a ground ball. Anderson wins the battle, and the Tigers take it 6-1. What a show that was to finish the game.
Boy, how about Spencer Torkelson making sure that Drew Anderson gets the baseball after that final out. Dylan Dingler's walking out and clapping for Drew Anderson, also patting him on the back, saying, "That a boy." I mean, what a memory Drew Anderson's going to have now to finish off that game, and again, shaking everybody's hand as he walks off for his first career save. What a great finish.
He earned that.
Yes, he did.
His first save, A.J. Hinch's 400th win as a Tigers manager, and also it comes on what ties for the longest at bat thus far in Major League Baseball at 14 pitches. A.J. is the 8th Tiger with 400 wins. Drew Anderson's first save, that was theater.
And to win that battle to 14 pitches and just kept pumping in those four-seam fastballs, never lost any velocity whatsoever. Kept saying, oh yeah, try something else, and he kept pumping those fastballs in, wasn't going to be denied, and finally got that and won that battle.
What a pleasure that was,
Dan.
Yes,
it was.
See you coming up shortly. You and Dan will have a great time tomorrow. We say farewell for Daniela Bruce, for our entire crew, Denny Blunt, Andrew Blaustein, and everybody in the truck. Dan Petrie, Jason Benetti, 6-1 Tigers, Logan Reaver, Cure Auto postgame next.